Hello there. Welcome to Crawlies. It's a wonderful day to tell you a story about a tale of love, betrayal, and revenge. A tale of a woman named Oiwa. So, jump in your bed, tuck yourself in, put on your headphones, and listen to the story. A long time ago, in a small town in Japan, there was a beautiful young woman called Oiwa. One day, she met a strapping young man. He was a ronin, a masterless samurai called Ieemon. Like any young lady, Oiwa fell head over heels in love with the ronin. It was a joyful day of her life when Ieemon asked her hand in marriage. However, Oiwa's father was displeased with the social status of Ieemon and rejected their relationship. He sought Ieemon and demanded that he put an end to their courtship. When Ieemon confronted Oiwa's father, he simply said, "A man with no honor and money are not worthy of my daughter." Humiliated before Oiwa's father, he drew his sword and killed his lover's father in a fit of rage. When Ieemon returned to Oiwa, he feigned sadness and told Oiwa that her father was murdered by a local bandit during a raid. Ieemon also vowed that he will help Oiwa to avenge the death of her father. Oiwa, the ever-gullible young lady, trusted the deceptive man and never suspected him. When she got married with Ieemon, she refused to take any of her father's wealth, abandoning it. Aside from her loyal servant Kohei who followed her, Oiwa is penniless. After they got married, Ieemon had to take up work as an old paper umbrella maker to support and care for his wife. As time went by, Ieemon grew weary of his marriage and his job. The love toward his wife began to dissipate from his heart. He was once willing to kill to be with her, but now his heart is empty as the starless night. Even the news of his wife's pregnancy gave him no joy. Instead, he felt frustrated at the news. Next to their home lived a rich man called Ito Kihei. He had a beautiful granddaughter named Ome. Upon laying her eyes on Ieemon, Ome instantly fell in love with him and wanted to marry him. For the love of his granddaughter, the man met Ieemon. He told Ieemon that if he is willing to marry Ome, he will grant all his inheritance to Ieemon. Ieemon was delighted when he heard this, but to marry another woman, Ieemon must divorce his pregnant wife, and doing so will bring dishonor and humiliation toward his name. Sensing Ieemon distraught, Kihei said, "Your wife is but a simple matter. Take this medicine and give it to your wife. Tell her that it will do good for her pregnancy." Thus, Ieemon went home and did just that. Believing in her beloved husband's word, every day, Oiwa took the medicine given to her. Little does she know, the medicine was a poison in disguise, a poison that day by day disfigured her face. One of her eyes started to droop and her hair fell out in a bloody clump. Her body also started to get weaker as the day went by. Ieemon grew more disgusted as his wife, but nonetheless, he always acted as the doting husband in front of Oiwa. He was gentle and caring in front of her. The news of the baby's loss came before long. Oiwa was devastated. However, the poison that was meant to take her life never killed her. Disappointed at the failed plan, Ieemon sketches another plan. He hired a local man, Tokuetsu, to rape his wife, so that he can accuse his wife of infidelity and divorce her. A perfect plan indeed. When night fell, Takuetsu went to the couple's house while Ieemon was out of the house. Takuetsu approached Oiwa, but was so terror-stricken by her appearance that he decided to abandon the plan. Takuetsu told Oiwa of her beloved husband's plan and handed her a mirror. Upon seeing her reflection, she was horrified. She screamed and wailed and quickly went frantic. She grabbed Takuetsu's sword and tried to kill Takuetsu, but her weak body caused her to trip and accidentally stab her own throat. As she lay on the floor, she repeatedly cursed Ieemon, gargling under her own blood until she died. When Oiwa's loyal servant Kohei returned, he discovered Oiwa's body and hurriedly delivered the news to Ieemon. As Ieemon took a step into their home, he was excited to see his wife's dead body. Expecting Ieemon to be upset, Kohei felt suspicious at Iemon's joyful reaction. But before Kohei could run and report about this matter to the authorities, Iemon killed Kohei. He told people that his wife was found sleeping with her servant, and he had punished them by killing both of them. He nailed Kohei's and Oiwa's body to a door and disposed of them in a river. Finally, he will get everything he wished for. He can marry Oume. The night before Iemon's wedding with Oume, Iemon noticed the burning paper lantern on his bedside began to flicker. As he looked at the lantern curiously, a thick smoke envelopes the lantern, and the disfigured face of Oiwa suddenly appeared and hissed, "Betrayer!" Iemon grabbed a stick and swung at the lamp where the lamp smashed onto the floor, but the face of Oiwa was gone. A faint woman's laughter was then heard outside of his home. Iemon was shaken, but despite this, he convinced himself that maybe the effect of the alcohol had taken a toll of his mind tonight. So he ignored the terrifying experience and went to bed. On his wedding day, Iemon lifts Oiwa's veil, but instead of his beautiful new wife's face, he is confronted by Oiwa's twisted face. "Betrayer!" she hissed. Terrified, Iemon drew his sword and instantly beheaded her, only to discover that he had killed his bride Oume. Iemon immediately scurried and ran next door to see Kihei, his new in-law. However, when he got to Kihei's house, he was faced with Kohei's spirit. Hastily, he slashed the spirit with his sword. As he looked toward the dead body, he saw Kihei's slain body lying on the floor. Iemon fled into the night trying to escape from Oiwa's spirit, but everywhere he went, she was there. Even when he sleeps, Oiwa appears in his dreams. Her voice kept crying out to him, calling him for vengeance. He flees to the mountains where he goes fishing, but instead of fish, he pulls out the doorboard that holds Kohei and Oiwa's bodies. He then runs to a cabin where the vines from the trees and the smoke from the fire transform into Oiwa's hair and try to ensnare him. There was no escape from her. Haunted by Oiwa's spirit, Iemon descended into madness and died. There are actually many different versions of Iemon N. Some said he was killed by Oiwa's brother, while some said he was pushed down to the cliff by Oiwa's spirit. Either way, he was dead by the end of the story. Oh, one last thing. If you want to seek Oiwa, you can find her grave at Myogyoji Temple in Sugamo, Tokyo. Her death is listed as February 22nd, 1636. Whether this is a real story or not, you guys can figure it out by yourself. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again soon for the next story. Good night. Oyasumi nasai.